Radio 1. HTLA Radio 1 in New York proudly presents Sex and the Kitty with your Scintillectual host, Kate Taylor.
Welcome, my sexy meeps. It is my very first show of 2014 for you all. It's HTL Late Night, and you are turned on to Sex and the Kitty with your host, the Intellectual Kate Taylor, on HTLA Radio 1. As with all our programming, we are simulcast on various locations around the interweb. Also, we can be purchased on iTunes by the season. Remember, though, this show is available 24/7, 365 on our website, soon to be revamped, by the way, www.htla973.com. So, you can download me and listen to me at your leisure. However you choose to listen, join me to unwind after your work week as I show you how to reclaim your most sensual selves and create the most fulfilling life you can have anytime, anywhere. But now, with the meat of the matter you've been waiting 3 seasons for. From now on, Sex and the Kitty is going to be just that. All about sex. Yes. Remember, meeps, that tonight's show is sponsored by eHarmony and Sandals Resorts and Trojan Twister. Keep all these wonderful companies and products in mind because after we get rolling with the rest of this season, you might have needed them. Okay, I've also got to note that my opinions and those discussed here in tonight's show are my own and do not reflect the opinion of HTLA Radio 1, our advertisers, or our sponsors. Our big challenge has been how to transition from the quasi-self-help format, the spirit this show has really begun in, because I really believe with all my heart that good sex cannot ever be great sex without a leap in self-awareness and esteem. So, in honor of the progress we've all made through 2013 to now, Sex and the Kitty is, in 2014, officially about sex. Woohoo! Right? You guys are saying it's about time. It's only been 3 years. What else do I have to do? Oh my God. Jeez. All right. But please, now I'm going to really need you to know what my listeners want. So send me email at ktaylor@htla973.com. Post to our show at the station's website, or tweet me at thekitty973. All right, now, so last week we were still doing that whole, be you, be true, be fierce thing, and we did talk a lot about esteem and growth and how important it is for various reasons. I still stand by that first season where we learned about our senses and how to heighten them and be aware all the time. And those are all critical to the sexual experience. I still feel that way, But, the producers and the powers that be have decided that this is Sex and the Kitty and not self-help in the kitty. So we're going to change up the show, and we're going to do that in that format. It's still going to be self-help and help, but in a sexual vein now. We're going to self-help you with your sex. So, and yeah, we'll even talk about self-sex. So we're going to be doing lots of selfing and lots of sexing. So there you go. To help me transition from my solo self-help format of the show here, I actually have my husband co-hosting and guesting on tonight's show, Mr. Christopher John Taylor. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you. It's funny how your first show is going to be all about self-sexing, and they have me on.
Wouldn't that be funny? No, we're not married that long yet.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
We're still good to go.
Well, at any rate, it's an honor to be here at the Sex and the Kitty headquarters.
I thank you.
To join you and your moist self for an hour of, or a
half
hour of titillating titties.
titillations.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes.
Big words.
That's right. And I don't know. Why don't you enlighten our listeners a bit about the development meetings of the past week that have made this show now be about sex?
Yes, because the listeners want to listen to development meetings. Hell, I don't want to listen to development meetings.
Well, it wasn't a pretty sight, folks, I say, because I wanted to say, my meats weren't quite ready yet, but...
Well, can you ever really be ready for sex?
Not great sex.
No?
No. Anybody can have fumbling around, like you used to say to me when we first got married, Don't do it like a 16-year-old that doesn't know anything,
Oh,
kind
right.
of sex. We all can do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But great sex takes intimate knowings of yourself, I believe.
So you've been lying to me for 3 years.
No. Mm-mm. Hey, I think I've gotten pretty amazing in 3 years, thanks.
Oh, yeah. Not to put you down in any way, shape, or form. No.
I've come a very long way in my 3 years of trainings.
And you've come a very long time.
Many motis.
There you go.
Yes.
So a lot of the folks might want to know how I'm achieving that for you.
Right. We'll talk about that. Sure.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, yeah, no, we just felt that it was time that the Sex and the Kitty show actually be about sex.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah. I was trying to keep it, more psychologically sexy because your brain is the biggest sex organ you've got. And don't ever forget that, Meeps. Just, I'm not going to be there to remind you. You got to remember that now.
Well, you might be because these folks probably download us and take us with them.
That's right. That's true.
So we might be there right now.
So we're going to start off this first show. And until we get your reader mail flowing in and giving us some ideas what you'd like us to talk about and help you out with just straight sex silliness and straightforward stupidities. So,
all right.
Some of the mythological questions about just, heterosex, just sex in general, plain old sex.
The penis part and the vagina part and
right.
sticking them together?
Exactly.
All right.
So just that sort of thing. Just some more... let's dispel some of the myths. I know that you've had some inquiries and you've read some postings and things that have given you some of these questions that you'd wanted answered that you had asked earlier.
Oh. Not
for your sake, but for you'd read them or heard them or someone had asked you or whatever it was.
Sure. Well, some of the things that I heard when I was a kid, you don't want to give a woman oral sex because, you'll get mold or fungus or something.
Yeast?
Yeah, it could have been cobwebs for all I know, but...
It was cooties.
Something, but certain STDs absolutely can be transferred orally if you're going to go oral there. But, if you're already in bed with the lady, you're going to get them anyway.
I agree.
Whether it's in your mouth or on your hoo-hoo or ha-ha or whatever we call the penis.
Right.
You're going to get it anyway. So, best thing, I think, to do in that situation is just put it out to everybody that, eating pussy's never bad.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
What, do you think it's bad?
No. No.
She's a little too straight-laced for the sex show, I think, guys.
I am. It's just, me and my FCC. I'm down with OCC and FCC and all that.
Well, eating pussy's acceptable.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm nervous. Okay.
Oh, no, it is. Licking ass? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, absolutely. It is absolutely acceptable by the FCC now, yes.
All right. Well, see, he's the producer. I've got to defer to him about that sort of thing. So.
Right, but effing this and...
Yeah, no, we don't ever say the F words on our show, do we?
No.
Never.
No.
Right. See, this is actually good because, as well as Sex and the Kitty, the first 3 seasons went, I do have a psychosexual background. I do have a psychological background in development. I'm pretty highly educated in that realm and, I have a great deal of insight into the motivations of why people do the things they do, especially intimately. So I try and translate that stuff to my listeners and benefit them from my education and experience. But,
Sure.
In my intimate personal life, I'm just not like Dr. Ruth. I'm not like you won't see me in the power suit with the heels and the glasses, and as much as you would like me to walk around dressed like that. It's just not me. I'm
Right.
definitely much more of a bashful kind of, kittenish kind of thing. So, now that the show is kind of about those things, my more bashful, kittenish side will definitely be out. So this will probably be a bit different of a Sex and the Kitty than our listeners are used to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you've put me in it, so, yeah.
Well, aside from you interviewing me in this segment about questions and stuff, I mean, just my persona alone,
Yes, because you're known all over the internet as quite the prude, but Anyway, moving on. One of the other things that I heard often as a kid, too, was, you never want to do anal sex.
Oh.
You put it up the bum and they'll bleed and die and all these horrible things.
Oh, and the ridiculous things that I've had, because I actually defend anal sex heartily, because I'm a huge fan of anal. And
says the little meep in the corner.
That's right, yes. But, some silly things like, he must like to smell poop, and, really stupid, immature commentary about it,
Right.
And that kind of thing. And, and my retort, of course, was, well, my bum is cleaner than your mouth, so shut up.
Well, and the funny thing is that I believe from a bacterial standpoint, it extremely is.
I know, right? Exactly.
Yes.
That's right. But true. No, I have to say that, I saved it for the one and my husband and all that stuff. I can't claim to be a virgin when I married my husband because I already had a child, but,
Absolutely.
I stayed celibate for the 10 years in between my first marriage and this one. So I was kind of like a virgin again, actually. But I did save anal for this husband, the one and forever only last one.
And I thank you so much for that.
Yes, I did and do. And you're very welcome and thank you. Well, also, I think it's very important if you're going to talk about exploring anal intercourse that, you definitely talk about it first. And
yeah, you don't just kind of snake it up there.
No. That's bad. I mean, there's been guys that have tried to do that kind of sneaky stuff. And, that's just a huge turnoff, too. And, my husband and I were long-distance relationship before we actually met and got married and stuff. We knew we were going to do all that, but we just hadn't had a chance to do that yet. So, in a way, he kind of started my training before we even physically met. So, by the time I had gotten there, I was kind of ready. And
well, not in a way. I actually went out and had you get yourself one of those anal
kits.
Stretcher kit.
Well, yes. What are they called? No, they're not called stretchers. Don't scare the girls, for God's sakes, because I was scared about that in the beginning. They're not called that. Dilators.
Yes,
the dilators. That's right.
There's the...
they're different sizes.
The human term for them, the less barbaric.
Right. Yeah. And no, you won't stay stretched out, girls. Don't worry. It's not like the videos. He showed me one video once. I had a heart attack, and that was it. But the training beforehand and getting used to it, the sensations and stuff is very, very important. But also the first time, it was very gentle and very wonderful and things like that. And, of course, that was the only time it was like that. But that's fine because that works for me. But it was beautiful, and it was one of the most amazing erotic experiences in my life. And, I definitely recommend anal sex because it's a sensation that is unmatched by any other kind of sex. So you have to do it. You have to try it. And I didn't like it at first until I was trained to.
And guys, don't be asses about it. No
pun intended.
You can, look at it from the end of just getting what you want out of it. But if you actually kind of put yourself in your lady's position, not literally, figuratively, of course, you can pretty much kind of get the feel, if you will, of how it should feel, and kind of taking that into consideration, you'd be much better off in the long run. But BUTT, we have to go for a commercial break now, so we'll be back in 2 minutes, and we'll continue on with your anal stretching dilating.
Well, no, it's on to the next segment, but...
I think what it is that you don't know it until you have it. Because I heard that in the past. You always hear these people being like, oh, well, she's not right for you. You'll know. And I'm like, okay, yeah, well, you'll know. Well, this is what they were talking about.
When I first heard him on the phone, I thought he was really sexy.
I love this girl to death, and Anne-Marie changed my life because I was going in 100 different directions.
It is easy to be with Lee. It's easy to love him.
She is extremely happy, lighthearted, doesn't let things get to her, and I learned from that, and I'm jealous of that, but she's bringing that into my life.
I'm much more laid back and kind of go with the flow.
Me, not so much.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie allows me to be who I am. I mean, as long as I have her, that's it.
See how it feels to be matched based on compatibility. Log on and review your matches for free. eHarmony.com.
Cold, clean, iron-free. This was the water he had been searching for. Down in the hollow, where he would build his business. Never varying from his recipe. Staying true to the process. Growing to meet a demand that would stretch far beyond the hills of Tennessee. Quite a feat for the little man from the middle of nowhere, who knew he had something so special. He was proud to give it his name.
When whippoorwills call and evening is nigh, I hurry to my heaven. Just a turn to the right, you find a little white light will lead you to my blue.
Book now, save up to 65%. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
HTLA Radio 1.
Okay. Yes, and you are listening to Sex and the Kitty with your host, the intellectual Kate Taylor on HTLA Radio 1 New York. HTL Late Night, where we get a little more mature about subject matter.
We like to dilate the show out a little bit.
That's right.
Get a little bit more content in there.
That's right. Exactly. No, but seriously, just to wrap up that whole conversation, definitely going to be doing an entire show on the benefits of anal sex because, I'd love everybody to do it. And it's still legal in how many states? It's just ridiculous.
Well, it's funny because that's all based on fear. And when you really stop and look at it,
right.
Anal sex itself, even in a discussed group of, consenting adults, there's still that element of fear there.
Sure.
And I think that happens from when you're a kid.
Oh, and the thermometers and all those things, yeah.
You can't
I
like
guess
that thermometer
so
too much.
Yeah, no, you've got a point there.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Well, I wasn't comfortable with this sensation until I got trained to it. And once you get past that initial barrier of discomfort, that's when the pleasure comes. So.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, yes, send us your mails, though. And, we're going to be addressing all these issues that you might have, any questions, it doesn't matter. We're going to save the kinky stuff for the lifestyle show that's going to be coming in the next couple weeks, I guess.
Next week.
Couple weeks, I guess. But, well, whenever Daddy says, but still, that's going to depend entirely on him anyway. We'll see about that.
Yeah, well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Meeps.
So, what we're going to be doing now for Sex and the Kitty, since the show's all about sex and no more of the self-help stuff. No more self-help, sappy self-help stuff. We're going right for the sex. Right?
I love that. That's self-help in the city.
Yeah, exactly. No, the best was this isn't psychology in the kitty. That was the best.
that was.
Yeah. All right. So, usually in the Kate Recommends section, when it was all psychology in the kitty, I had you guys doing couples kind of activities together and stuff like that to invoke more of your inner stuff. But we're going to be recommending, products and stuff again. Don't worry, no home trials. We tried that once.
Oh, yeah.
That was a disaster.
Wow.
But, yeah, hubby's still recovering from that one.
Yeah.
Yes. But I would like to recommend something. It just came out on January 2nd. And
this is something actually that I'm given the
thumbs up
3/4 erection for. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're doing. Oh, that would be cool to do. Let's give. Yeah, instead of stars, we'll give erections.
I'm full of good ideas.
You are. He is truly. Okay, so if anybody who remembers that old HBO provocumentary.
Oh.
Yes, that's another word I've created, like intellectual. Thank you. I put my own trademark stamp on those. Provocumentary. That's right. Real sex. Mm-hmm. You remember they used to say, real sex, it's a wrap. And they used to go on the street interviews and do the clapboard and stuff.
You know, that was a good show, but what I hated about it
was all 70s hippie tantric stuff.
No. What I hated about that show was, I guess, unfortunately, what I liked about that show, which was asking the complete drooling morons in the street
how they had sex.
Yeah. You know, and
they all say the same thing. It's all the pat answers, too. There's never anything extraordinary. Like, I like to dip my partner in peanut butter and get into a tub filled with ice cubes, or it was just nothing crazy.
Actually, there was some that I can remember that did say stuff like that, but I think it was just for the shock value because they were laughing so hard.
Oh yeah, they're mostly drunk. They hit him after the clubs.
Right.
Right.
Well,
HBOWatch.com has rebooted it for the 21st century, and it's called Sex // Now.
Really?
Yes. So that's launched actually January 2nd. So we're giving it a little shout-out promo here, our HBO peeps.
Here's what we got to do.
What?
You and I will go hit the streets of New York after the clubs close, and we'll go find them. We'll pretend we're drunk.
Oh, no.
We'll give them some of the best answers they've ever had.
We'll just pull up in the HTLA mobile unit.
Yeah.
Because that's coming this summer, too.
Oh, yeah. Live broadcast to events, at events, for events.
That's right. And you'll see we're going to do the promos on the new sexy revamped website.
You know, that website is really getting me hard. What's the ETA on that?
Oh, gosh. Again, that depends on you.
Oh, good. Well, then it'll be out tomorrow.
No. I'm going to say probably after the 15th, though. I'm going to need another couple weeks to review it and do all that kind of stuff. We want to take some more promo shots and new stuff. And
get a live broadcast player on there. Yeah,
we're going to do a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The videos, our webisodes are going to stream directly from the website now, and it's all one page. So, and it's not your traditional website, and it's going to be really sexy cool. And you're going to love it.
This coming from your traditional Uber kitty.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I go out of the box, though.
Sometimes I go out of the box, too.
Sometimes I'm in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Just not so much anymore.
Yeah, well, I can change with an instant.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Anyhow, I'll see that when I believe that.
Yeah, shut up. Different show.
Right. Okay, so... And now after I do my Kate Recommends, which is either going to be a product or something cool that, it's really awesome that we've tried or we've heard about or we've done, just like go check out HBOWatch.com now.
Yeah, that's that they did their first show on January 2nd.
Right.
So it's every week there.
Yeah, we're going to definitely be watching that regularly.
Yep.
Well, we're still going to do our listener mail.
Okay.
All right. It's just, and I've done some sex questions on my listener mail in the past.
Right.
And it had a really good response, so that's why the producers pretty much wanted to change the whole entire format of the show because the listener mail was doing so well.
That's right.
And it was all about sex.
And I actually have one this week. Am I reading it?
If you like, that would be awesome. Please do.
Okay.
Even feel free to contribute to the answering.
Oh, God. Well, this one comes from Ed in California.
Okay.
And Ed says that he's been married for 18 years.
Oh, a long time.
Loves his wife, and he's in the beginning of his email here, he went on sort of ad nauseum about
how much he loves her.
How much he loves her and how wonderful she is and all that good stuff.
That's nice.
But then the second paragraph, things got kind of weird.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. He says he has a problem getting an erection when he's in bed with her. But here's the interesting part of the email. He doesn't have a problem getting an erection any other time. He says when he masturbates, it's just like it's always been, and it's awesome and good stuff and all the rest of that. But when he's actually in bed with her, he says it's kind of limp city, and he doesn't know why.
Okay, so is it just the bed, or is it just her and the bed?
he didn't really specify in the email.
Because
but
that's important.
Yeah.
I mean, because he might have an aversion to the bed. There might have been some bad experience. What if they talk about money in the bed at night before they go to sleep? What if they, that's the night that's the place and time that the wife decides to do therapy every night,
It could be stress related, yeah.
Exactly. That's a huge thing. But if he's just not physically attracted to her anymore, but he loves her, obviously they've had an almost, 2-decade marriage in life. You don't just chuck that,
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
See ya, baby.
Sex isn't everything, and you can get that back too. There could be a medical reason that he's impotent at certain times, and there might be a psychological reason. I'm going to assume that if he's been married 20 years, he's got to be at least over 40.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I would think, yeah.
It's time to start checking out the prostate and, checking out the testosterone levels and things like that. But if he has no issue becoming erect and aroused and ejaculating when he's on his own, fantasizing or thinking or whatever guys do.
Visual stimulation,
exactly.
Usually.
Right. Then, I would have to query further into whether the issue is just maybe she's gotten really overweight or, we all know moms when the kids come, they come first. And when I had my daughter, and I also had a car accident around the same time, I took care of every need of hers, and it would be weeks between the time that I actually had the energy to take a shower or wash my hair because I was using her baby wipes, and that was it, because that was all the energy I had at the time. But I also had the accident too, so
right.
It was really difficult. If it's some kind of issue like that, some kind of medical issue, or something like that, I really can't answer that, Ed. Sorry, until I have a little bit more information. Feel free to email again with that, and I'll be happy to punch you in the right direction. No pun intended. Thank you, though, for your mail. As always, they're appreciated. Please send us mail to ktaylor at HTLA973.com or tweet your questions, if they're not too confidential, to @thekitty973.
There you go.
Right. And as always, that we've done in our Sex and the Kitty shows, I have always ended it with my sex stuff. It really is a sex show. And I always finish off my weekly session with you by offering a top 10 sex tidbits list.
Oh, yes.
And to keep it as hopefully exciting and mind-blowing as this new format and change in our show is going to be for you, as it is for us here, tonight we've got the top 10 positions for mind-blowing orgasm.
Oh, I bet you I know these ones.
Well, you do probably all of them, actually. Yeah. You probably wrote them. Got to say. And I'm not just saying that because he's sitting here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So now, most people think it's a myth that there's certain sex positions that can help a woman's orgasm be more, And it's true. But why aren't men learning these things? So according to some sexperts, there are, in fact, a list of such positions. And obviously, we're going to share them with you here tonight. All right? We just want everybody to have the best sex of their lives, always.
And it's funny, I got to interject here. When I first saw you working on this list tonight, I'm like, hey, I do that one, I do that one, I do that one, I do that one. Like literally every single one of them are like a lot of my first choices.
No, it's true. I've got to say, he's not just saying that to stroke his ego. Honestly, it's the truth.
Yeah.
My husband's a very attentive, loving lover.
There you go.
So, yeah, he always has been.
So number one.
Yes, let's get on number one. It's a modified missionary position called the butterfly position, and it's really easy if you sit back and you visualize, being at the edge of the bed, while he's standing up in front of the edge of the bed, and just your, bottom buttocks and your legs are hanging off the bed, and then you put him on his chest, right? And you put him over his shoulders, and you tilt your hips slightly upward. That's a great angle for cervical stimulation with deep penetration, and it can give some intense vaginal and uterine orgasms. If you want to do more shallow penetration, then you can stimulate the anterior vaginal wall and hit the G-spot too. I guess it depends on how the pee-pee curves or how little she is. I'm very little and very shallow, so it doesn't take much for me to already be.
And thank God I don't have much.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean, that position would be too much for me. That.
Right. Yeah.
That
maximum
hurts too much.
penetration,
right.
That would be coming out your mouth there.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah. All right. 2, modified coital alignment technique. Okay. This is another one that's really good. This is missionary, but she's got her legs together. And that's a good one because then as he shifts his weight, his erection's producing firm pressure and friction on her clitoris as he moves around. And that works very well for women that prefer to have clitoral stimulation during penetration to reach a very powerful orgasm. Now, that would be me. That's number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, those interior ones, they just come in waves. I can't help them, can't stop them, can't do anything.
And why would you want to?
All he's got to do is start, and they're just going and going. But it's the outside ones that work really awesomely.
Number 3, my favorite.
Now, this is for the guys, and it's called bearing the scepter. And you form a ring with your thumb and your forefinger around the base of his penis. And that's so amazing that, I just thought it was a you thing, but
no, it's a me who knows how to use my thing.
I think so.
A lot of guys, they don't explore a lot of this kind of stuff because they're, they've got those hang-ups or they got those things that are left by our parents that kind of inhibit that. But
or they just do it as long as you ejaculate, it's good enough. Kind of thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of that out too, which is kind of scary too and sad. Yeah,
because we explore every inch of our bodies as women. Men should too. Ultimately, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you want to pull the skin of the shaft down until it's taut, and it'll expose more nerve endings and increase that penis's sensitivity. Mm-hmm. And it can also help to maintain the erection.
Exactly. I was just going to say that it chokes off the blood that's in the penis, makes it harder.
Right.
And keeps it there.
Yeah, and you keep your hand encircling his penis while he continues to engage in that intercourse, and pleasure's going to be soaring. Yeah, definitely.
There's several cock rings on the market too that actually will accomplish the same things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and we've done some things with those kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Why don't you tell them about the next one?
The next one, yes. The good old countertop.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite porn movies. Has the countertop on it.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, where, you're usually in a kitchen or somewhere where you'd have a counter.
Dining room table for us.
Bathroom would be good, too. And you just lay her out on that counter or a table, and, of course, everything's at the right height. You get those legs up over your shoulders and just go to town. You're pretty much straightforward there, guys. Not a whole lot of explanation need be on this particular position.
Right. Well, the point and excitement of this position for the women and maybe for the men too actually has absolutely nothing to do with the physicalness, because it was just like the edge of the bed over the shoulder.
Right.
Butterfly one. What makes this one so awesome is the inappropriateness of the location and the dirtiness of the act and the urgency of the act by not being in the bedroom.
Right.
And the just the taking of it and the roughness of it. So that's what makes it on so many levels much more contextually stimulating.
Absolutely.
Right. Now, this is a good one, and I'm going to actually try this one tomorrow. No, it's
tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm tired. Tomorrow I'll try.
Oh, listen to this.
So, this one is called the seated scissors, and this one allows the woman to be on top and have control in order to determine the depth and the angle of the penetration, as well as how much clitoral stimulation she gets. So, usually girls, we're used to being on top of the guy, either completely straddling him, facing him, or facing away from him. This one asks you to put one of your legs in between his legs and one on the outside. So it's kind of a modified scissor, and it's funny because we have our own kind of lying down position that we always did that we called our heart, and it's kind of a scissor position.
It's pretty much like this, except on your back and my side kind of thing.
Right,
yeah.
and when we do the position and we're lying in bed, if you were to look at us aerially, we actually make a heart with our bodies.
Yeah, there you go. Isn't that cute?
It is that's so cute. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, so now we've got, let's see, number 6, which is the get off stand up position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now.
Oh, that's the uber porn position.
Yeah. Whenever a guy is standing up and holding their partner in the air or up against the wall, which I happen to love the wall. Yes, I do. It's mind blowing for both partners. And I can see why. It taps into the innate gender differences between men and women, the strong man and the small woman, which is probably why it works for us.
It's a prescription for a heart attack for me, but yeah.
Oh, thanks. I'm supposed to be like nothing in your arms because you're so enamored with me at the moment, and I'm like a 98-pound little thing.
In a movie, that would be exactly what that is. Yes, you're right.
Great. Okay. All right. Well, it's physically demanding, and it's not for all couples, but if you're okay from your doctor and safe to have sex, it's definitely a recommended one.
Yep.
It's part of what we call our Viking sex.
Yep.
So, it's just that crazy kind of grab you, throw you around the room doing it kind of thing. Yeah. All right. Number 7, not unlike the, where we uncloaked the shaft of the penis there a little while ago. This is the uncloaking the clit one. And it's no wonder that women hardly ever catch the O train. It's that very sensitive little, I call it my love button, is buried under, the mons pubis and the clitoral hood and all those things.
Right.
So, make sure that you put your hands into that Richard Nixon peace sign and separate those lips and get that clit standing at attention for some attention of its own.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, number 8, this is what we call the shake and bake. Ooh. If you're craving a quick and stimulating break from intercourse, this move is it's the perfect titillating timeout. So, to do it, the man withdraws and rests the tip of his penis on her clit. Then he holds the base of his penis and shakes it quickly from side to side so that the head hits the clit with every wiggle. Yeah, it's kind of like the dinky dance. In doing so, you'll be stimulating both heads at once. That of the clitoris and that of the penis. And that should send you both into paroxysms of pleasure.
It does.
Now, number 9, push and tush. Okay? If your guy enjoys having his back door explored, and guys, I recommend it, reach around with both hands and grab both his cheeks. From there, you can do butt yoga. That's a technique whereby you spread the cheeks apart and then together, one up, one down, and vice versa. That's interesting. Or anal yoga. That's a technique whereby you place your middle fingers to the sides of the anus and then spread them apart, then diagonally, then up and down. If that gets him hankering for more, feel free to delve deeper, but make sure you clear it with him first. Don't just go shoving things up his bum without telling. Yes. Now, number 10, the happy scissors, and this is for girls. Heating up the hot spots aren't hands-only talents, They're also a great moving body part where you want them, and the technique is a prime opportunity. During intercourse, raise your legs, then have your man hold an ankle in each hand. From there, he can spread your legs apart and then together and then apart and then together, and, the options are endless. Remember when we were kids, we used to do the bicycle when we were lying on our back with our legs and our hips and stuff. Do all those things because the tendons of the legs pivot deep into the pelvic cavity. Moving them around subtly alters, the below the belt sensations for you both. So talk about getting a leg up on a little variety there. So those are 10 positions that are guaranteed to induce some mind-blowing orgasms for both of you.
And I got to say, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
The yoga thing I want to try. And more of the leg scissor thing, the last one. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, hubby just tends to hold me down a lot, so.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love, too.
Or against a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah. That works for me. Yeah, that works for me. Okay. Well, back to the show.
Yes.
So every week, this is what the show's going to be like. We're actually going to talk about sex. Now, I want you to send me your mails, like I said, because next week, the beginning before the commercial segments are actually going to focus on a specific topic that will thread through the entire show. All right? And send me your questions. Ed from California, fill me in on the details there.
Yeah.
Because that seems like a shame. He's very much still in love with her. If there's something we can do, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have tons of tips to fix things.
Yeah, that's nice little...
Just do what I say and you'll be fine.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, do what Kate says and you'll be fine. That's right.
Yes. And I want to very much thank you for co-hosting and being a guest on my show this evening.
Well, you know what? Thank you very much for having me, and thank you, all you regular Sex and the Kitty meeps, for joining us and allowing me to titillate you.
And invade our intimate space that's usually reserved for our listeners and me.
That's right.
Yes. But no, you're more than just a wonderful producer.
Well, thank you very much. And as your producer, I've got to let you know that you're out of time. So without further ado, let's rock some tunes and
there
take it out.
you have it, Meeps. Well, thank you for listening to this week's episode of Sex and the Kitty. We're going to make every episode from here on out hotter and hotter for you. So stay turned on with me here. Again, thank you to my husband and ever professional producer, CJT. A big thank you to our sponsors and affiliates. And I'd like to shout out to all of our ever-growing supporters and listeners that this show is for you. Thank you for your continued participation. If you've missed any part of tonight's broadcast, just visit www.htla973.com and check out the broadcast page. And don't forget, see me and Crash every weekend as we post our webisode for you too. Create a free profile, write me, stay in the sexy know.
Good night.
Be fierce, kitties. Good night.